Still ahead, an Eye on America investigation. How wholesalers and corrupt U.S. government inspectors cheated farmers out of millions.
The CBS Evening News and...
As we've reported, drought conditions are making things miserable for farmers across much of the country. No one can protect farmers from the weather, but once their products reach market, they should be able to expect a fair price. But fairness goes out the window when the system is corrupt, as CBS's Wyatt Andrews shows you in Part 1 of an Eye on America investigation.
It was a scheme so slick, even the victims admit it was brilliant. At the Hunts Point Wholesale Produce Market in New York, the country's largest, most of the USDA produce inspectors were on the take. According to the government, 13 of the wholesale buyers here regularly paid cash bribes to the inspectors to label perfectly good produce as scarred or rotten. The wholesaler could then demand a discount from the farmer.
He says, instead of grade A fancy, it's now grade C. It's called knocking the load.
Knocking the load.
It's knocking the load. You knock the grade down.
Roger Villadero, the Inspector General of the Agriculture Department, whose agents cracked the scandal, says the scheme cheated farmers nationwide out of more than $100 million.
What could a farmer lose on a truckload of downgraded product?
The average during our operation was about $7,500 per truck.
There was no way to win at that market. It was a stacked deck.
Florida vegetable grower Jay Taylor says farmers knew for years something was wrong at Hunts Point. Too many loads of good produce were being declared damaged.
10% average decay.
And too many phone calls came from Hunts Point demanding a lower price.
You can see the $8 has been scratched out and $6 written in. That cost us $3,200, that inspection.
And Taylor, 1,000 miles away, had no way to prove the inspector wrong.
What made this entire scheme work is that they were dealing with a perishable agricultural commodity.
In some areas of the Hunts Point market, cash bribes were the norm. 8 of the 14 agricultural inspectors assigned here, including 2 supervisors, were on the take. And in court documents, they admitted the bribes had been going on for more than 20 years.
When the inspectors recently pleaded guilty to the bribery, Inspector Michael Samus admitted he took more than $100,000. Edmund Esposito, more than $90,000. This man, Paul Cutler, surrendered a $70,000 brokerage account. That much cash represents thousands of corrupt inspections.
This was everyday business. They didn't know any different.
Roger Villadero tells CBS News the scandal has spread beyond Hunts Point and that he expects more indictments.
This case goes border to border, coast to coast.
It's hurt family farmers across this country. It makes me sick to my stomach to think that kind of financial devastation can come that easily in this country from a federal employee.
Farmers like Jay Taylor have not only lost money, they've also lost some trust in the government. The very inspectors put in place to protect farmers were part of what was rotten in the system. In the Bronx, New York, Wyatt Andrews for Eye on America.
Of the 13 wholesalers indicted in this case, 6 have pleaded guilty. Tomorrow, Wyatt Andrews will have Part 2 of this investigation. Next on the